Alright. What's up, everybody? We are here with the EPT Korean Weekly Grand Finals between Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO in the top right side, up against Onside Gaming's Solar, the blue Zerg player in the bottom left. Going to be starting out on Inside Out, and strap yourselves in, because when these two play, it is brutal. It is quick, it is fast. Occasionally they get trapped in a macro match, but pretty rarely. And the reason is, if Solar gets a good read on you and gets an advantage, he will try to just shove across the map and ruin you with Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings. He loves to brick nerds to the face. You know, if you think of most StarCraft as a fencing match, Solar likes to just grab a brick and crack it into his opponent's skull. People are like, oh, that's not fair. You're meant to fight for points and stuff. And he's like, I don't care. I'm just going to finish it in the most brutal and efficient way possible. herO, on the other hand, of course, is also a very aggressive player, but a very chaotically aggressive player. A player who likes to really mix it up. He'll be hyper-aggressive one game, and then he'll be incredibly greedy the next. He'll always be in his opponent's face, though, with harassment and an army, and unafraid to commit to timing attacks to the point where sometimes it looks almost ridiculous. And, of course, famous for his very weird control group system, where he just uses control groups basically as substitute camera location keys to monitor the most recent units that he has selected, but mostly clicks around the minimap, selects things manually like this, and then just after he tells them to do things, he gives them control groups. So you can see that probe is on a control group 2, this guy. That's his builder, and control group 1 is this guy. But you're going to see those control groups changing constantly throughout the game to be whatever he's looking at. That's why it's always fascinating. herO also hasn't even put his second Nexus on a control group yet, because he is a bit of a weirdo. So he's just so busy being annoying with his probe. But now the Zerglings and Queens are on the way, he will back off. He did, of course, block Solar's expansion, so Solar's been forced to take this third base out there. Adept on the way, no Warp Gate, which tells us it will be a Stargate up here in the main. Overlord moving down that right side as well. Overlord there. Sees that the Warp Gate is on the way now. Do we get a Chrono on a second Adept? He saved the Chrono, so I think he will. No, he's going to play defensively. Okay. Just chronoing a single Adept. Oh, he goes for the pylon block, though. Oh, herO. He always tries these cute little harassments to get under your skin, but he's got to cancel that one. I don't think he can get another pylon down. Indeed, he cannot. 4 Zerglings. That is why you need 4 Zerglings. If you only build 2, you can't kill a pylon quickly. And so it can actually block it. The Adept can come in and just be very, very annoying. Here we go. herO's Adept gets a Zergling. Doesn't want to take too much damage on the Adept, though, so notice he's just trying to retreat from the Queen. Takes another couple of hits regardless, and actually shades into the Zerglings, but Zerglings off creep, not really. Oh, it's too weak, though. The Adept's too weak. He's going to lose it. Oh, no. herO overcommitting here. This Adept goes in and tries to get some revenge. Zerglings have to back off. There is an Oracle being chrono boosted on the way behind this. Expect another Oracle to come out shortly. He does have his other extra pylon finishing, so good on herO for making sure he remembers that. Queen's going to come forward, and he's going to need to do some spore tricks with Solar here to save these drones. Ooh, goes for this around, but already one drone goes down, and does a spore trick to save the second one. That should go down. Notice that he already split his Zerglings to the low ground. Good moves. 2 Queens are at the third. There's going to be 2 Queens in the main momentarily. They're not ready just yet. By not building a spore, it's really, really good, because even if you lose a drone or 2, you've got an extra drone mining in each base, and you can build the spores a bit later. It saves your minerals, so you can just squeeze more drones out. You can see he's got 7 lava, very few minerals. It's desperate that Solar builds more drones at this period so that he can keep up with herO. Now herO's moving out to take a third. The Lings barely missed that. Unfortunate for Solar. He's got enough units to kill the Adept and the Probe. There's a third Oracle building, which can rally back and defend this. Solar is like, what is going on? Why is he not gone for a third yet? This is a very late third, 4 minutes 20. Solar will find it momentarily. Oracle's gathering up on the left side of the map. The Zergling's going to run in, but there we go. Finally, Solar sees what's up. Oracle going down the right side. I think he might try and just dive in or stasis trap this side while blitzing into the main or the third. The Queen Spore positioning is splendid for Solar right now. Oracle's going to dive in the main. And they're going to have to pull back. Zerglings poking around, unable to find anything. Solar has killed 2 Adepts for 3 drones and 7 Zerglings. It's been pretty even trading on both sides. Oracle comes in on that right side, takes a lot of damage as well. There's Queens on every side. He ain't getting out without getting heavily bruised. The Oracle, oof, taking some damage. These Oracles go back in as well. I mean, you got 3 Oracles. They've achieved very little. They've forced a lot of queens. They've forced a spore in each base, but not much else. And it looks like these adepts are going to cancel at the last second. Lair starting at 514. Sola's gone for a very slow lair. I don't think his drone count's very impressive. Considering the fact that he delayed his Roach Warren, I feel like he should have a bigger drone count. If he's delaying his lair, his Roach Warren, his gases this long, it does feel like he should have a little bit more. He feels safe right now because knowing that hero's committed to 3 oracles, he realizes that, okay, you can't really have a big ground push or anything like that. Nothing too scary can come out here. And these Stalkers and Adepts will defend it. But Blink and +1 is on the way, as well as that Robo there. This is just classic herO, triple Oracle into Blink. +1 attack. He's going to go up to 8 gateways. The question for me is how quickly does herO go for the 4th base? And does he opt for the gases? Ooh, okay. Gases. Would not be surprised to see a Robo Bay in the near future if he's going up to 6 gas. Ooh, second Robo Bay. Yeah. Okay, so this often leads to a Colossus timing. It could be straight Disruptor, but likely Colossus. Solar doesn't actually see any of that. And yet, despite it, he's gone immediately Spire. Spire is so good against double Robo play. Blink is still decent versus that Muted play, of course, but really, what you absolutely want is that other stuff. Now, Lings come in, get some Adepts, but the Oracles are blasting the Queens at the same time. Solar taking some big damage right now. He's going to pull back the Queen. Oh, at least one of the Oracles will go down. The Oracle's not going to find too much more. Lings get a few probes there. Or 4 Adepts they killed, actually, and a Stalker. So they didn't get probes, but they got a bunch of those other units. The Oracles will fall back. I think 2 Queens died. 3 in total have gone down this game. But one of the Oracles did drop as well. And this all has delayed the Oracles from scouting that Spire, which is built in the back of the natural. Not knowing that's coming is a disaster. And the Robo Bay's been spotted. Double Colossus in production, which will roast Zerglings really hard. And if your opponent goes Lingbane Hydra, that's amazing. So I think herO might just be banking on Solar going straight to Hydras, in which case Colossus Stalker Sentry wrecks that army. He's not making any sentries, so it's going to be pure Stalker Colossus in this case. He could still stitch something together and make a real play of it, but Solar's Spire's finishing. He's got enough gas to make 11 Mutas. Oh, man. That is a lot of Mutas that are going to be coming out of this map. Now, he sees the gas and not that many drones on the minerals. That's a big tell. I think herO should realize what's happening. Yeah, he's immediately going to move across the map. He doesn't even wait for the Colossus to pop. He says that, yep, they'll rally. I'll add a few Disruptors just in case, but I'm just going to go right now because I can sense that you've been too greedy. Where's the Roaches? Where's the Roaches? Did he cancel his Roaches? Oh, Solar was being so greedy here. He gets a big surround on the Stalkers, but they're damaged. They're not dead. The Blink is good so far. The Colossus coming in. herO needs another warp in. He needs to get another warp in right now, but the Prism could get clicked on if he goes for that. Oh, the Mutas could take out the Colossus. It does take out the Colossus and falls back, but I think herO might have too many Stalkers pushing at the perfect time here. Solar tried to very greedily explode into Mutas. If he got away with that, he would have absolutely smashed. But as it is now, it's very hard with Stalkers on your doorstep. How many Mutas went down? 2 Mutas only died for 10 Stalkers. That's actually a good trade for Solar. I thought he lost more Mutas than that. The counts are looking pretty good for him. If he can use the Queens and Lings effectively to help deal with these Stalkers, the Mutas can overwhelm and he could win this game. He's going to try and flank in, but those Lings did not go around for the full flank. A big mistake for Solar, and that is unfortunate, but he focuses the Colossus down, which means his Ling rally will be much more effective. That's a lot of Stalkers though, and the Blink Micro is good for herO. The supply getting very, very close. More Stalkers warping into the fight. It feels like the Muta count's dropping. The supply is getting closer and closer. herO closing the gap. Drones are going to be forced to fight here. He needs to pull everything he can. He cannot lose all these Mutas. Lings rallying into the fight could turn this fight, though. One big explosion of Lings could turn this fight massively in Solar's favor. Stalkers blinking back into a Zergling surround. Never a good situation for them. Oh my god, the supply is so darned close. I think as long as Solar's been hitting his injects behind this, he can do it, but he's actually lost all of his Queens, which means there's no more injects behind it. Meanwhile, herO non-stop 8-gate warpers. This one is coming down to the wire. Every single Stalker that falls, though, is now a big problem. He's got another warp in coming online. herO has plenty of money, but if he loses the Prism, then he is down and out, and that is exactly what happens. Solar hangs on by a hair, and finally, the moment he breaks the back of it, he does push on through, kills all the Stalkers, and that should be game in his favor. herO is going to tap out momentarily. I mean, he's warping in a few Stalkers on the third, but he's dead. Lings and Mutas flying to the natural. That was essentially an all-in attack there, trying to get in before the Mutas caught him off guard. But remember, herO was not good enough with his early harassment. He didn't do much damage. He didn't scout the Colossus tech. Scout the Muta tech. He committed to double Robo Colossus, and it just was a great choice of build orders for Solar. If herO did a bit more damage early, if he was able to scout the Muta attack, he could have adapted early. But he saw this at the last second, and it's not a good position to be in. He's lost 14 probes there. He's going to go for one more Stalker push. herO, one of these players who does often hang in the game when he's way behind. He's not going to be able to bring it back, but at this point he is, oh, you know, no, there's no chance. That's okay, I'll just tap out. Solar takes game one. Oh, right, well, that was a rough game there, but I like the choice to just randomly throw in the double Robo Colossus timing. Didn't work out in that game, but he's once again going to go across the map. Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO. Solar in the top right of Tropical Sacrifice. Gonna have his natural blocked. No! Oh, herO nubbed it. herO sent his probe too late. On this map, you need to send that probe extra early because it's a long rush distance, and he lets the hatch gets down. That's a rough start for herO in this one. It's not the end of the world. You can still harass with the probe, as you can see here. But yeah, it is a little bit of an issue for sure. Solar's going to be happy with this start. He's got his gas guys going down. Just going to chase this probe off. Realizes how annoying herO can be. I like the way Solar's rotating his drones around as well. The way he's just pulling drones on and off. So herO really has to do a lot of work to get any damage done. Yeah, especially if you intercept it. Like if you pull one of those drones and you interrupt the shields from regenning, makes it much harder for herO to be as irritating with this. I think that's the one thing pros don't prioritize enough. Same thing as Terran. You see the probe run around or through the mineral line, just pull one worker, get a hit on it, and it stops that guy from being able to harass you for the next 20 seconds. It's really, really big. herO is so annoying. It's funny because this harassment is normal for every Protoss player, especially in this matchup, but really in all the matchups these days. herO's been doing this for 5+ years, every single game. He used to just send a probe across at the start of pretty much every game just to be as annoying as he could. And everyone else was like, surely that's not worth it. And he was like, hey, dude, it's the only worker with regenerating shields. Free damage, let's go for it. I don't mind it. I want to scout pretty early anyway, so I might as well do it. Link speed's going to start up nice and early for Solar. Starts at 217, which means with a 80-second upgrade time, that will be finishing at about 337. A very crisp link speed timing. We usually say as Protoss players about 330 is when you want to start being worried about Lings getting speed and you want to quickly get out of their territory. That is off a hatch first, of course. And Solar's going to move down, secure this third base, making sure that can't be blocked. The probe was going for a proxy. Did you see that? The probe was going south. It sees an Overlord looking at it, and it's like, oh, this is awkward. It pulls back to pretend to go in a different direction, and then goes back straight through the Overlord. Oh, herO. Oh, wait, no, he's spotting where it went. Oh, he was purposefully looking for that because he's gone Stalker first. Oh, so he's hit that Overlord, but this Overlord gets to the pillar, and herO unable to do that. Oh, Baneling all in. Solar's going to go for a Bane bust, guys. He's seen a Stalker first. I don't even know if this was reactive or it was planned from the start, but 23 drone, 2 baseling, Bane all in. If that Stalker's in the wall, herO should be okay. He's going Resonating Glaives, 3 gate. The problem is this is not a Stargate opening and his Stalker is not in the wall. Oh, no. Solar's already up 1-0. This might be a quick 2-0 advantage for Solar here. Oh, man. Because the Adept only takes 5 Banelings to die. A Baneling does 35 damage to light. Only 140 hit points there, guys. Stalker, on the other hand, is not light, and it has an extra 20 hit points on top of the Adept. If you don't have a probe here ready to wall off, you're just dead. I mean, let's watch this from herO's camera. Oh, this is going to be a disaster, guys. He has no idea this is happening. He's got 2 Adepts there. Oh, he's shading. Is he shading? No, he's moving out to take a third. Oh my god, he moves out to take a third. Oh my god. Oh, the Stalker does get in position, but the Adepts and the Stalker get hit by the Banelings. That is a disaster. We'll go back to everyone's camera. Oh no. And another Baneling coming in. As long as, yeah, he doesn't even need it. The Baneling's just like, oh, he does get focused by the Adept. Great micro by herO, but look, you lose 2 gateways. That's 2/3 of your production going down. He does get to start some more warpins. Actually, he's got 2 gateways up here. Maybe he could do this. Oh, he should be blocking the gap. Why is he out here? herO with some very bad micro. He hasn't started a shield battery. He should have plugged Adepts in, spread out in all these gaps in between the buildings. He didn't do it though, and that was a huge mistake. If he did that, he could have defended this. I mean, it still would have been a very big long shot to actually fully survive this wave. But man, Solar coming out of the gates, just absolutely rearing for battle. And a bit of a gamble in both games, a bigger one in game 2, but he finds himself with a 2-0 advantage. They are paying off big. All right, well, he's down, but he's not out. He better bloody rub his hands together, you know, take his hat off, pull a rabbit out of it. I'm hoping he's wearing a robe with a very loose sleeve, because he better do some wizard shit right now. In the top right, down 0-2. It's Dragon Phoenix Gaming's herO. His opponent in the bottom left side, representing Onside Gaming Solar. Onside Gaming, it is Solar, I should say. Representing Onside Gaming Solar is Solar. He's representing himself and his team at the same time. All right, hero's not going to block. He's not going to block the base. Solar's like, oh, there's no probe. Wait, what? Solar's like, wait, are you sure you're letting me take this? Then look how far his drone went out. He's literally delayed his own hatchery by going a bit too far. But hey, that's pretty awesome. He gets his hatchery down, and herO is proxying something. Wait, he's cannon rushing. That's a forge. He's doing the cannon rush, the old school cannon rush. Oh, but the Overlord's in position, it seems. So basically, he wants to come in. I don't know where you can cannon rush on this map. I think he goes pylon, pylon, pylon. I think he's going for the 3 pylon wall. Solar sees the probe. He's got to pull a drone right now. Get down there, get down there. Block, block, block. He should pull at least 2, if not 3, and just block this. As long as he doesn't let a pylon go down there, he's got this. Solar, I've been very critical of Solar's cannon defense in the past. That is the most important spot. That is the pylon spot that seals off the whole thing. Do not let him build a pylon there. The probe is already heavily damaged, though, so I don't think this is working for herO either way, but I think Solar... It's good he's getting damage on the probe, but he still should stop that pylon getting up. herO's just like, this didn't work. Drops a Nexus, cancels the Forge. It's not a great opening for herO, that's for sure. But he did force 3 drones off the line. He could still transition from here. But man, talk about just taking a big risk when you're in a really bad position, right? You're down 0-2. herO's like, yeah, it's fine. You know what's crazy is if he just sent the probe on a normal scouting path, Solar might not have panicked and he might not have pulled anything. Because he's just, oh, it's normal. But you see it coming from the right. You're like, oh, he's trying to hide this? Okay, I'm 100%. I am 100% going to pull drones for that. And yeah, very impressive what Solar did there. Very, very impressive. Now, there is an Adept on the way, not chrono boosting it. herO is 100% focused on chronoing probes. Yeah. Okay, yep. I think this is wise. He knows that his Cybercore was so late. Chronoing an Adept, it's still going to be a late Adept, so he might as well just save those chronos for the probes and then the oracles. It's a very good way of doing it. Probe is running around in circles. A Zergling sneaks by for the Scouty Scout, does Solar. Or actually, looks like he's more focused on checking for proxies and stuff like that. He feels like, you know, his Spidey sense tingles. He knows herO's up to no good. Wants to get a bit more map vision. 3rd base is on the way. 3rd Queen building. Creep starting to spread on out. And that probe will finally return home. A failed cannon rush might be dooming for some players, but you got to realize that herO did not commit. When he realized he was in a bad spot, he canceled the Forge, went back to building a Nexus and probes. He did not commit. I would barely call this a failed cannon rush. It was a, I want a cannon rush. Oh, wait, this isn't working. And he just went straight and smoothly out of it. It's that fluid, flexible nature, the ability to transition out of it. It's what makes him so good. I love that he's got his Adepts here. He's hoping a Zergling runs in, and then he just gets to kill it on the ramp. So he still denies the scouting, but he gets some free kills as well. So the Adepts there, this is the classic never trust a Protoss who leaves their front door open, guys. He's waiting behind the door with a screwdriver. It's, don't go, you're like, ooh, do I see a coffee table with jewels and bundles of cash on it in there? You like gingerly step into the apartment, and the door swings shut, and got a screwdriver in your kidneys, man. Zerglings, a couple of those do go down. Oracle coming around the north side. Probe count seems quite okay here for herO. Oracle doesn't turn the laser on. I like to try and kill the Spore, but he knew the Queens were nearby, so he just chills out, backs off. Oh! Okay, does cancel. Doesn't want to throw these Adepts away. Maintaining pressure and presence, more important right now for herO. 3rd Nexus is on the way. Double Gas is on the way, as well as more Oracles. He hasn't built any other tech just yet. He's just probing on up. He's going to go for 3 Oracle into Blink. Similar style to game 1. herO bringing out some normie play on Data C. Oh, He's looking for the open worker line, but man, the positioning is very good for Solar. Solar did move those queens a bit too far. He should have pulled those queens back, and then the oracles would have taken even more damage if they went for that. They're going to go in here, and man, herO's rotations are crazy. He ends up getting 4 kills. Doesn't take too much damage. Don't get me wrong, he spent a bit of energy doing it, but that's really cool. For those of you who've never had the joy of playing against herO, I've got to play against herO a lot in the last year. Maybe 5 times I've played against him in the weekly cup, and every time I've played ZVP against him, it's just fascinating because his movement is so different to every other player with Adepts and Oracles. It feels like they're running circles. It feels like you're like an old caravan in the Old West, and they're circling you, you know, shooting arrows or guns into your circle of caravans, and you're hiding behind your wagons, and you're kind of like, Jesus, this is really frightening. And just when you think he's about to go away, he circles in from a new angle that you didn't even know was there and finds a little bit of damage. I mean, I remember there was one game I only lost 2 drones to his Oracle Adept pressure, and it was like the happiest and most victorious I've ever felt versus a pro player. And then I just died to his first push anyway. Just herO things, man. Comes in, gets a queen, gets 2 more drones. This is very good damage. Gets 2 more drones there as well on top of that. So 4 drones in total, plus 4, plus 2. All 3 oracles still alive. I feel like Solar, he's in a very good spot in the series, but this game looks like it's pretty tied. If he'd killed an oracle or some adepts, I'd feel better for him, but the fact that it's a perfect game for herO doesn't feel so good. And actually, oh, it's Zealot Archon, it's not Blink this time. So same follow-up in terms of Twilight Forge, but he's actually on 6-gate charge Archon. He's going to go for an Archon droppy now. It's a pretty late one, but off 3 oracle and some adept pressure. Even late Archon. Oh, and he's got Zealots. Oh, he's gonna go big. So big 6-gate attack. He should take a 4th behind this. I love this attack. It's a very nice way of just doing it. He's gonna warp in a bunch more Zealots, unload those Archons as his Prism flies in. So I think he wants to drop those on top of the Queens. So because Archons are very slow. So he wants to just dive. Queens off creep, Queens off creep, Oracles. Oh, lasers switched on. Queens caught out off creep. Where are the roaches? They're just starting to pop. Zealot Archon is a Zergling slaying force. And what a beautiful surprise here from herO. It's a 4-gas 6-gate Zealot Archon timing. He warps in another 6 Zealots onto the front lines, and that is a slaughter. Catches Solar, going to +2, going to 4 base, 72 workers. Just a little too slow on his roaches. The Oracle's slowing him down enough with some drone kills. And herO gets back into it with a very committed timing. He had a 4th base on the way behind it, but that was still very committed. It takes balls to play like that. All right, well, he's got a point on the board. He's still, of course, only got 1 life left. And in this situation on a big map, unafraid to gamble, he goes gas first, no scout. herO, you greedy boy. That's what I love about his play. Always taking edges, always taking gambles. I love it. Down here in the bottom right side, Solar. Happy to get his hatchery first up. Wouldn't be so happy if he realized that his opponent was getting the super greedy gas first build. And funnily enough, herO's even pulling off minerals onto gas. Now that's unnecessary. Yeah. I was like, what? You should be on 16 out of 16. If you don't scout, you have an extra probe. There's no need to put 3 workers on the gas straight away. And he should rally down to the natural and take that nexus with this probe. But herO being herO, he's not going to change the rally. He'll just box a probe and send it down. Because herO is the most manual player in the world, man. herO could be shown a bloody car, a Tesla, and he'd be like, no, it drives itself. I don't like it. I want to give me a Mustang any day. Give me an old bloody, I don't know, bloody 69 Mustang or something. Give me something where I can feel the engine rev and I got to shift that gear stick, you know. Other people out there might say the Tesla's faster, the Tesla's better. herO wants to feel the game in his hands. He doesn't want to queue things up or use rally points. He doesn't want to use control groups. He wants to select those units using a box, using an F2. I have a big smile on my face whenever I talk about herO because we were just talking about it in chat between the games, and Eon Blue was pointing out that, you know, if herO didn't win championships and you'd watched him play, you might seriously doubt his abilities because there's just such chaotic energy to it where you're like, oh, this guy is just disorganized. Like this is the kid who never gets his homework in on time, surely. Like 100%. He's just there, like, scribbling pictures in the corner of the classroom that has nothing to do with what the class is about. Like, herO just, he's got this flowing play. He clearly gets into a sort of flow state and is able to just roll with the punches. It's a beauty to behold. Now, Solar, on the other hand, known for going up 2-0 on players. I think it was in early 2021. He had a lot of series where he went up 2-0 on players and wasn't able to finish it. He had that in the semi-finals versus... sorry, no, that was herO Marine versus Reina. He's had that in a few big tournaments back in 2021. It's been a while since then. But I do wonder if that's on the back of his mind. I actually have no idea who won this tournament, for those who don't know. I often have already had results kind of spoiled for me, but sometimes I'm able to just go, oh, someone I trust recommends a good series to me. I'll cast it, no worries. I trust their judgment. And I don't know. I don't know who wins this series. So Solar could win this and close it out. And the problem is, of course, that it's Cosmic Sapphire. So he's not going to be able to brick herO. I wouldn't mind a Muta build like Game 1. I think the Game 1 Muta build was really slick. So I wouldn't mind seeing that again. The problem is that herO has had a slightly more efficient opening. He's using the Oracle to spot the high ground. Overlord's going to go walkabout there. Does get blasted down. Now, if herO can find a bit more damage with his units, that's going to be key. Solar looked a little bit more stiff with his defense in that last game. Felt like maybe the Cannon Rush defense got a little bit of adrenaline pumping through his veins, maybe unsettled him a little bit, because it did feel like he should have had a bigger lead after stuffing the Cannon Rush attempt, right? He stuffed it really well with just 3 drone pull, a little bit of mining time lost, should have been ahead, but he took quite a bit of damage. His queens kept getting lured by the oracles. The oracles would circle around with their mobility and then find an opening on the worker line. So I really want to see Solar just clean up that defense. It's the exact same follow-up. Double gas into Twilight Forge, into gateways 3 and 4. He doesn't have a third oracle this time, so I guess that is a change up. Just 2 oracles this time around, which means maybe herO is thinking about doing a crisp Blinkstalker timing with +1. Just 2 oracles, get the gateways up quicker, see what we can do from there. He hasn't sent his adepts across. He hasn't done any damage other than the overlords. Or overlord, I should say. 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 3 drones go down. Oh, he goes back for another one. Greedy boy herO. Unable to put it in his... put it away. Oh. Takes 4 losses deep in the red. This is not a successful raid. Even though 4 drones is pretty good, if both your oracles are almost dead, they're not going to be any use for future harassment. And meanwhile, Solar's got a lot of lings out. Why isn't he attacking with those? What's Solar doing? Solar's massing lings off 45 drones. Oh, he's trying to do Dark's attack. But if he runs in right now, he just kills all this. So he's waiting. Okay, so he's doing Dark's attack. So Dark's attack, it's basically one where you mass ling Bane and you do a surprise attack off 45 to 50 workers. It's got an insane win rate if you hide what you're doing. But there's no layer in vision. That might tip off herO that something's happening. herO's got a battery. He's got very good unit placement so far. He's got 4 gateways up and more on the way. No battery on the natural's the scariest thing, because there's going to be a lot of Banelings morphing up here. Oh, an Oracle goes down. Another one taking big damage. If the Oracle gets home with high energy, it will be very important for helping to defend this. So yeah, it'll take about 8 Banelings, maybe 9 to blow up the Stalker. But if he blows the Stalker up, Lings can get in the main and the natural. Problem is that herO is very quick at warping in. He's got a nice little choke point there to warp in. Choke point there, choke point there. And herO has no idea this is coming. This is still a very scary attack. Solar's going for it. Massling Bane's going to dive on in here. The Stalker not getting busted. Solar taking way too long to bust open the wall, blocking himself with his own Zerglings. 4 sentries are warped in. He's going to have to go for the 3rd base now. He should be morphing more Banelings as he goes. The Banelings go back on that left side. They're trying to squeeze in there for some reason. Oh no, a botched attack from Solar. And the battery overcharge on the pylon, even healing it. Oh, you are kidding me. The Oracle's slaughtering the Lings. Solar choking under pressure. An absolute disaster. And this is what I'm talking about, getting in his own head. Solar could have got a massive advantage with his Zerglings, but rather than playing fluid and taking that opportunity, which he saw that 3rd was naked. He had 20 Lings out. He could have jumped on it, done some damage, and then still probably surprised with the follow-up. But he was too afraid of triggering herO into building extra defenses to the point where he stopped the next wave. The thing is, if you've got a free opening in front of you, take it. Kill the 3rd, kill a bunch of the units there, and then just drone up and play a normal game behind it. You don't need to commit. You can tell Solar had his build chosen before the game started. And that's the difference between someone who picks their builds and really commits before the game starts like Solar, and someone like herO who is always free-flowing and changing it up on the fly. So many Lings coming out, 2 Adepts and a Stalker, no Oracle at home. Talk about a naked base. He could attack the wall with 6 Zerglings, kill the Stalker, force warp-ins there, and come in here and surround these units at the same time, it would have paid off massively. He even sees that there's few units there, no shield battery, no oracles. He knows they're pinned in the corner, but he doesn't take advantage. And I think this was a big missed opportunity for Solar. The series is now tied up 2-2. All right, well, he's already made a wild comeback to tie this series up. He's tied it up in some very quick games. herO at the top left side. He's going for it. The pylon on the low ground on Moondance. He's going to try and block onside Solar's natural. And that's very easy to do since the rush distance on this map is tiny. That probe gets there literally before even a 15 hatchery could go down. Solar's going to have to take that front base. Of course, good defense for herO, but we've got to note that Solar messed that up. He messed that up quite a bit. And that's why he's going to have to stabilize. And I would say grit your teeth and fight through, but actually I think the problem is that Solar is gritting his teeth, right? He's tense in his play. herO is relaxed, he's loose. And this is the thing, is people look at herO and they see him get 3-0'd by Bunny in Super Tournament and they go, I guess herO's not that good. That's the way herO plays. herO plays an inconsistent style. And I actually think it's one of the best ways to play Protoss, in my opinion. I mean, stats will come back from the military and prove that you don't need to do that, you know? And say, no, you can just play solid macro and beat everybody. But, you know, I really look at the way herO plays and how much of a mind screw it is to play against him, because you just never know what's coming next. It's so hard to predict him. It's very frustrating, and it's a psychological endurance match to keep up with this guy. StarCraft becomes a lot simpler when your opponents decide to just do things predictably. Nice little bit of probe harass. It's being really annoying. I mean, whenever he goes inside the pocket, I would absolutely just pull all the drones and attack him. herO, no one does it. No one ever pulls workers to kill. I guarantee you would kill his worker if you just tried to attack it, maybe 50% of the time. But people just are like, no, he's watching, he's trying to bait me into it, he just wants to waste my mining time. They never do it. I always feel like they let him get away scot-free. Harassing the mineral line from the inside of the mineral line is one of the most ridiculous moves ever that herO does almost every game, and he just gets away with it, and I'm just there like, oh, come on. I want to see players test him, because I would be amazed if he actually, more than half the time, saves the probe if they attack it with the workers at the right time. If he does, that's super impressive. So that's part of why I want to see it, just to see, I'm like, is herO that much of a mythical creature? Is he that much of a beast? I don't know. This is a very short map, and yet herO's playing Stargate. Now, Stargate's not bad, but remember, Solar's known for bricking nerds. He could do it. The problem on this map is you have to break here, because herO gets, sorry, bad observing. He gets a free third base in the back, which is very nice for him. So going for a big Queen Roach Ravager Ling push, something like that, it's a massive gamble. It's a very dangerous decision. And probably not something Solar wants to go for in Game 5. We've already got an Oracle on the way, as well as another Adept behind this. Stalker's going to run out and hunt this Overlord down. Oh, Adept on the high ground. Oh, he's going to get one. Gets one drone. Oh, and he even stops. Oh, he's trying to get him from the high ground. The Queens, though, pair up, and they do damage. One drone kill is not too bad if you can kill the Adept, and you can see that Adept's 100% going to go down. Cancels the Shade. Can he get another drone before he goes down? He got stuck on the Assimilator for a moment there. He forces another Spore Trick. Very nicely done. I guess it's not a Spore Trick, because Solar kind of needs Spores anyway. Oh, but look, it sets up for the Oracle. 1 kill, 2 kill. Oracle's going to rotate into the main. Queens are there. Drones get into safety by the looks of it. Can he get another? Oh, deep in the red, only 2 kills. Bit of mining time, so it's definitely disruptive. Solar's still taking damage here. But, definitely interesting to see. Now, off just 1 gate, you get to go and take your third base. That's what's so beautiful about this map for Protoss. It's like, cool, third base, Twilight Forge, all off just 2 oracles, 1 gateway. Heck yeah. herO will need to build a bunch more gateways as soon as he gets the cash. You can see he's doing that. 150 minerals a gateway. Build 2 more in a moment to get up to 4 to close that gap. Adepts making their way around the left side of the map. Oracles gearing up on the right side, getting ready for run-bys. There are 4 queens on that left side. It's going to be 2 queens in the main. Here comes the Oracle with a nice revelation. Adepts are just going to pick off one of the tumors. They won't quite get the other one, but hey, getting 2 active tumors is pretty good. That's queen energy going down. Oracle on the left side. That mineral line is wide open. Solar, seeing an Oracle on the left, has left this right side open. That Oracle could come in and get big damage. There's only 1 queen there. Adepts shading around Oracles as well. We've got 3 more gateways on the way. So he's going to be going up in that gateway count. The Adepts are getting jumped on. Oracle should be able to save them. Turns on its laser, but nice pullback by Solar. Doesn't throw these units away. Oracle still just chilling on the right side. herO missing a big opportunity here. And Solar, honestly, this is so unforgivable. Leaving this mineral line wide open like this gave him a 1.5 minute window to find damage. He's very lucky that herO only got a single drone and a Spore Trick there. Solar cancels the Spore, which is a little bit wild. Trying to really cut corners on the anti-air. 53 drones versus 56 probes. 8 gateways coming up. herO wants to get the Blink Stalker aggression going. He's got a Robo coming out behind it. That'll be able to add the Prism. Units lost tab. A single Adept has died for herO this game. 15 units. 4 drones, 7 Zerglings, and an Overlord, as well as a few Creep Tumors going down for Solar. Solar still has not killed either of the Oracles. This one's healthy. He's going to go Evo Chamber, Roach Speed, and a 4th base down the bottom. I think it's a decent spot to be in for Solar, as he is now finally ahead in the workers. Definitely not ahead in this game, but he's got decent creep control. He's got, you know, he's in charge of everything now. Sees this very quick 4th base, and that's going to prompt Solar. Yeah, he's already building 12 more workers. So he's going to go up to about 76 workers, a very good economy. And Ravager Ling Bane, an army that's really good at defending on creep, good at smashing into mineral lines if you catch your opponent not watching. The problem, as always, is breaking a Blink Stalker player who's got Oracles to help back up his defense, shield batteries, he can blink back, he can use force fields. Actually killing them with a Ravager Ling Bane timing is near impossible. You can do it if you hit a giant timing the moment Baneling speed finishes, and you just get in there early enough and maybe kill the 4th base. But if that doesn't work, you're usually way behind, because as the fight goes on, it always starts looking good for the Zerg, and then you realize that none of the Stalkers have actually died. You've just forced them to retreat. They're all blinking back, healing, and the Zerg ends up in a surround. Like if you push this angle as Zerg, you push in, and you end up with Stalkers all around you in almost an encirclement, and none of them actually die. They're so good at healing with the shield batteries, and Disruptors will be coming out behind it as well. So this tells us that the tech is great defensively for Solar, but does he have a long-term plan? herO might just get aggressive on him, so you don't always need a fantastic long-term plan other than just, hey, you know, wait for him to step into your territory and then take advantage of it. Ling's getting ready on the left side, might go for a big Baneling run by. 77 workers for the Zerg, mass Ravager Ling Bane on the way. 2nd Forge and Disruptor tech for herO. So herO's going for double upgrades, Stalkers Charge, and Disruptors. That is a very cool mix of tech that's going to prepare him very well for the late game. Makes me think herO is probably looking towards taking a 5th base and maybe adding a few gases in the near future so we can add Archons to this as well. That's a really nice setup for him. Now Solar, he's going Infestation. He's trying to add a 2nd Evo Chamber, probably so he can add some ranged upgrades as well. But he hasn't really been hitting the mineral lines. I'd like to see some Banes rolling in from different angles when this fight goes down. Solar doesn't want to throw away the army on a silly offensive maneuver. He's just going to pull back. He says, come to me, herO. Please come to me. herO's setting up Stalkers on the front. Disruptors starting to rally in one at a time. Zealots on the right side. Hive in the main base does start up. +2 melee, +1 range on the way. Lots of Banelings morphing. 29 Banes for Solar. Solar is trying to make him. He's got to watch out for these Disruptor, though. I mean, the army is so much better for Solar, but that Disruptor shot, yeah, easy. Take out about 6 of those morphing Banelings. Stalkers get surrounded. He's got a recall. The Banelings get some juicy hits. herO with a massive overcommitment. The Lings are punishing him hardcore. Zealots take out a base on the right side. Solar with a fantastic dodge, but that does allow him to retreat the Stalkers and the Disruptor. Solar does lose his 5th base, but he's got a new one building in the back, and he can rebuild this. He didn't lose too many drones. 9 workers, but he's instantly replacing them. Biles are going to go down on the Zealots. No, he missed it. He landed on the terrain just behind those Zealots. herO does keep the Warp Prism alive. herO is still building Disruptors. He's going Plasma Shields and Armor upgrades. He's not going for +3 attack. He wants to get some tankiness on these units. And he's trying to take a 5th base. Solar could deny that. If Solar denies that 5th base, he's large, he's in charge, and he's looking good to finish the game, but he doesn't want to risk those Oracle lasers. And he may be a bit too conservative as a result. Hive has finished up. There is Adrenal Glands on the way. A nice upgrade to be sure, but it's not going to allow you to scale all that well. I'd like to see Lurker Tech or Ultra Tech, Viper Tech, Broodlord Tech. Vipers are going to come out. There we go. Vipers will be the name of the game for now. That's a very good addition here. Just getting Adrenal and Vipers is good for now. but only 79 workers. Solar is not crazy rich. He's also not doing very many run-bys. Now he's doing a Baneling run-by, but he's doing it in isolation. He should not send this in on its own. He should only do it while his main army moves up on the left and pulls herO out of position. Back inside the base, Zealot drop comes in. Oracle's clearing creep on the left side. Amazing that herO has the wherewithal to actually clear creep in the midst of all the macro and the Zealot drop in the back. But he only gets rid of some of the tumors, not the active ones. Banelings should be splitting here. Nice split on the Banes. Gets a big boomy. 15 probes go down. I still wouldn't call that a massive success. Units lost tab tells us that yes, you killed 15 probes. You wounded his economy, but you lost about 20 Banelings for it. That tab doesn't show the correct Baneling count. So that is not necessarily efficient. Observer sees more units coming in from the left. Setting up for these Baneling run-bys, it's good if you do it with other maneuvers, but he's too defensive right now with Solar. That being said, he is being decently efficient. He's got the Hive, he's got the Vipers gathering energy. Banes get blinked on, and he trades about 15 Banelings for 2 Stalkers. The units lost tab 2,000 resources in favor of herO. herO's got a Zealot drop. He's got a giant Stalker Zealot Disruptor army coming forward. There is a big army for Solar. I do think he can defend this. Oh, Mass Link coming around the left side. The Banelings are nowhere near the Zealots, though. Watch out for the balls! Oh, abducting the Disruptors, canceling all of the balls. The Roach Queen fighting the Zealots, the Banelings fighting the Stalkers. A little bit awkward here for Solar. If Solar has the lava, he'll be good, but he doesn't have the lava. Oh no, Solar unable to remax on Zerglings. herO might have him. herO might have him here. If herO can push through, this will be massive. There are a lot of Zerglings coming out, 13 more Roaches building. But this seems good for herO. herO's on 5. Wow, herO does have double upgrades, but he doesn't have any more gas, remember. He doesn't have much gas mining. He is still very committed to low tech. He's only got a handful of disruptors. He forces a mass Baneling cancel. Oh, this is a disaster. Solar is in so much trouble, yet somehow his supply is still up. His queens are doing a lot right now. Oh, nice abduct at the 11th hour. Barely stops that disruptor shot a second before it connects. Absolute ridiculousness here. The Disruptors, the Zealots, the Stalkers backing off. Solar hangs on, and somehow he is way ahead in supply. Can you believe it? Adrenal Gland plus 2 melee Zerglings are pretty good, guys. They actually traded okay versus the Zealots. Without any Archons in there, that was a problem. Now, herO takes Templar Archives, but he doesn't actually have gases. So he's not going to be able to use that unless he starts taking assimilators. Behind this, just plus 2 range, plus 3 melee. Ultras are pretty good versus Zealot Stalker, but because they're not very microable and they're so expensive, Solar is reticent to head in that direction. He's afraid of just having 1 or 2 Ultras getting kited by 20 Stalkers. You need a whole combo of units to make that work. Baneling run-by rolling in, but not a particularly clean one. I'm not very happy with these Baneling run-bys for Solar. Once again, it happens in isolation. He ends up getting 5 probes and a Stalker. Could have been worse. This army... Oh, he could have taken out the base on the right side. Solar could have taken out the base on the right side, but he stumbles into the Disruptors. This is a bit of a messy fight. Those Zealots need to get out of there. Disruptors unable to connect. Solar does get out. Massive Zealot drop in the back, but it does go down. The Queens and the Spore move underneath it. They take it out. More Zealots on that base. Looks like a couple of drones may have gone down, but still up at 84. Giant shove into the rally. Solar rubs forward, but a giant just explosion of the balls on his Roaches. The main base is being cleaned up. herO diving in. He says, you're disorganized. You may have a better army than me at fighting front on, but if I get in here, I can kill your economy before you can react. He gets 15 drones down. The Zealots are on the bottom left side. The army coming to bear from that main base. Where is the rest of the Zerglings? Solar's building too many Roaches right now. He needs Zerglings. I know they're not great versus the Zealots, but I think the Zerglings are the real damage dealers. If he doesn't get enough Zerglings out, he's not going to have the damage to deal with this army, and Disruptors are going to become so powerful versus Mass Roach. The Roaches, though, are trading okay. herO turns around, gets 1 more shot off, takes the base out. Mass Ravage is morphing. 17 drones just died, and it feels like herO rallying Disruptors in. A big mistake. Trying to rally Zealots on the right side. I think he's pissed off Solar. Solar is angry. herO has kicked the ball in the bear in the gonads, and the bear is angry. The bear is not rebuilding drones. Solar coming across this map with a vengeance. He's got a Viper there. Disruptor from behind, but an Abduct yet again takes it out. He's still got a single Abduct available on this one Viper. But attacking into Stalkers and Batteries is not a good idea. Battery Overcharge did already get baited. herO, he's just trying to hang on. He's going to try and do a big Zealot surround. Uh-oh, Solar, get out of there! Oh god, Solar's in trouble right now. Solar is in big trouble if those Zealots get on top of him. Disruptor's right on his tail. He gets back on creep. Nice moves by Solar. He's trying to morph more Banelings. Solar's worker count is not good though, guys. A lot of drones are long distance mining. He's only now rebuilding his hatchery. I think he panicked. I think he was actually okay, but I think he was frustrated that herO was diving in and doing so much damage to his economy. So he has not rebuilt the economy. He's on 66 workers versus 82. Zergling run by does not find anything. The F2 A move just handles that just fine for herO. 2 more Vipers are on the way. If those Vipers can deal with the Disruptors, Ravager Ling Bane can beat Zealot Stalker. Problem. +3 armor's about to finish. It's going to be 3-3-1 Zealot soon, and that is way better than just +3 melee on these Zerglings. The Ravager's coming forward. Where is the Viper? The Viper needs to get these Abducts off. He gets one! A big Disruptor lands on the Ravagers and the Queens, though. Too slow on the second Abduct. Oh no, Solar's Viper. He was too cautious. He kept it too far back, despite that he gets some good Baneling hits. And a Baneling run by in the top right gets 11 probes as well. I mean, yes, there was a giant Disruptor shot, but I got to admit, I got tunnel vision casting that fight, guys. Everything else in the fight went good for Solar. He actually got a really good fight. He's only down 10 workers now. He's rebuilding the hatchery in the bottom left, rebuilding some drones. It's just a real battle for map control. I think he's got to keep respreading creep, trying to get vision out there, stay active with the Ling Bane run-bys, because you are fighting for map control. Zerglings finding an attempted base in the bottom left. A lot of Zealots come down, though, and those Zealot upgrades, 3-3-1, man. Oh my god, that's nasty. Banelings, though, getting some decent hits. Zerglings, if they get the wraparound, would be fantastic, but the cannon defense will hold on with those Zealots. The Archons come in for the efficiency. On the right side, Stalkers are cleaning up the creep. Great moves by herO, removing Solar's map control. That's going to allow him to slide these Zealot run-bys in as surprise maneuvers. Ooh, Ling Bane flank, pretty darn good there for Solar, though. Gets at least a couple of those Stalkers on the retreat. Units lost tab is actually in favor of herO, but only by 2,000. That is not a big resource lead in this matchup. And as long as Solar keeps expanding, he's got to keep taking new hatcheries, because these bases are all starting to get low on resources. He doesn't have the highest worker count. He's still on a pretty basic army, but so is herO. herO showing no signs of adding deep complexity in terms of like Storm or Colossus or Carriers. But there is still one important addition, and that is the Archons and the Immortals. He is adding some solid, meaty units to the mix, and that means the Banelings aren't going to do that well. If the Banelings and the Ravagers can't clean up that army, and if you don't have enough Abducts and Blinding Clouds to support it, suddenly, like, Ravagers, Lings, and Banes will lose efficiency over time. Baneling's going to take out that pylon. The cannon and the battery in the back still in a decent spot, but oh, he used up all of his Banelings. Meanwhile, Zealots on the right side, 8 drones, 9 drones go down, and he did not find the probe line. Oh, if he just had 1 or 2 extra Banelings there, Solar would have killed so many probes. But instead, he doesn't kill any, and he loses 9 drones. He is down 27 workers. herO, the Mad Lad, is at 91 probes. There's no way he even has enough places for these guys to mine from. No, he doesn't. 25 on a couple of mineral patches on that base. The Lings on the right side, as well as the Banelings, though. As long as the Zealots spread out, they're going to trade pretty well here. herO, oh, not the best spready, but not the worst either. Does at least mitigate some of that Baneling splash damage. And it feels like herO might be too rich at this point. That's the income graph. Solar was ahead, but the last 5 minutes have been a lot of herO's advantage. Vipers in the open. You cannot lose those Vipers. You got to be careful. Vipers cannot abduct over dead space or impassable terrain. They have to be over ground that they can actually abduct the units to. There we go. Abducting the Disruptor, abducting the Archons, abducting Archons and Immortals. A Blinding Cloud. Oh my god, what an engagement! herO takes a terrible fight. His army's getting slaughtered. But can Solar defend on the left side? Roaches, Banes, and Lings can. Oh my god. herO is mining so many more resources, but he just got slaughtered on 2 fronts. The Stalkers showing no fear. Blink back in a fight which he was losing. Somehow these Zealots find the mineral line, but Solar's redroned. He's back up on 71 workers. herO is causing chaos right now. He is causing utter madness. I keep talking like the game's about to end. herO accidentally attacks his own cannon, but it is not. This game is neck and neck. Yes, herO's up 20 workers, but he needs to keep securing expansions. If he loses any of these new Nexi, he can't use that worker advantage, and that's a big army coming forward, but there's no Banes. No Banes. Oh, that is not a good abduct. He does not have the firepower. He needs Banelings. You need Banelings to clear the Zealots so that you can really deal with everything. Solar is feeling the urgency. He sees all these expensive units just coming out at an alarming rate. That's scaring the heck out of him right now. It is really, really scary. Disruptor shot's going to go forward. Banelings, good runaway. Oh, he turns the Banelings around a bit too early there. Oh, he's still going to go for the fight. Nice, Blinding Cloud, but the Banelings are hitting Archon Immortal. So as much as he kills some expensive units, remember, he does not have the income advantage. He's got to keep being efficient. But as Protoss moves away from a Zealot Stalker comp into these better value units, it's going to be hard for Solar to find it. herO finds a base and a quick snap recall to get out of there. Solar's got a counter-strike. He's got to take care of at least one of these bases. He recalled directly to this base. That must have been a manual recall. What an absolute savage. herO makes sure he recalls so that he is still close enough to reinforce and support this base. The Ravagers, the Lings, and the Vipers pulling back. It's a lot of Ravagers. He needs more Banelings. But, I mean, I feel at this point we need Lurkers, right? Lurkers would be game-changing. Broodlords would be amazing. Ultras actually would be okay, but now that the Immortal count's growing, they would not really trade. I always talk about Ultras because I love Ultras and I want to see them more. But we might have to wait for the balance patch for that one. This is still a very hard spot for both players. How the next fight goes is very important. herO, if he holds this base, he's got a great forward position. Banes are going to roll to the left. Banes are going to roll to the left, guys. Okay, we've seen the Biles on the top right of our screen, but let's watch these Banelings for now. They're going to take out a good chunk of probes. 14 workers go down. I don't know if, is that enough? 15 probes and getting rid of the static. Disruptor goes down. Some Banelings rolling forward. Some Biles going to land, taking out some of these shields off these units. Man, Warlings and Banes trying to reinforce, but it feels like Ravagers have hit their expiry date. It really feels like right now, herO has the creme brulee. He has the fantastic army. And Solar, he's using that old 2% milk. He's got that bloody Woolworths light stuff. This is not going to get him through if the game goes much longer. So herO just bravely commits to a base trade. I feel like he's in a more efficient position. What a mad lad. He goes for a base trade. He loses 2 bases. So many probes going down. He's killing a lot of drones at the same time, though. So, I mean, maybe just forcing the fight right now when he has the tech advantage is the right play. There's no Broodlord transition or anything like that for Solar. herO's going to force a fight. Solar's going to come back. Abduct goes down. Feedback lands on the Viper. There's no more Disruptors left here, but it's just Ravagers. And Ravagers are good if they eat the Biles, but if they dodge the Biles, oh my god, the Arc on Immortal just blitzes down a bunch of these Ravagers. Notice how chunky the Ravagers are. They get stuck behind each other a lot. Zealots working their way into the economy. Solar trying to take these units out, but herO is just far too good at dodging. Look at this Arc. He says, if you stay in firing range for a moment too long, I will smack. And oh no, Solar not watching for a moment, and you see how many Ravagers go down. The blink forward. herO asserting dominance here. And he dives in on top in a wild game 5 and manages to get the win. Oh my lord. Beautiful, beautiful play, dude. Beautiful play by herO. There was a few fights that weren't going that great, but he always had Zealots in the backline, and he just did not let Solar get to his side of the map. Fantastic play and a complete reversal. herO continues the trend of being that player who you should never count out. GG, well played.